Greetings everyone, welcome to Ariana's Restaurant. Here we are, Maggie on the camera, me here, we're getting ready to do some more cooking. As I said, this is fun during this COVID issue. I'll be very polite there. Or if you're cooking at home, we certainly want to help you. Also remember, when you're not feel like cooking at home, please call out to us, we'd like to help you. Today, something simple, chicken, the chicken breast. I personally, I'm a thigh guy. I like thighs because there's more fat, there's more moisture. Chicken breast, the biggest challenge with them is they easily dry out. Also, when you cook with a chicken breast, you got something very uneven. You got this part, this is where the wing bone was, the shoulder, and it's trimmed off the breast. This comes down by the thigh, and you've got a completely different thickness. So there's no way you're going to cook it evenly. So this will get overcooked, undercooked, or this will get overcooked by the time this is cooked through. So we want to cut them into medallions. The other thing is that there is actually a grain that runs through the chicken. It's not as important to as tough as it is with meat. It exists, and so what we want to do is work our knife and cut across the grain. And what I do is just with 2 easy slices, I now have medallions of chicken that are ready to saute. And then we can easily just sort of flatten them out. The different ways for us in the restaurant, we have a little tool, it's like a little mallet. Do not use this side. This little side is just you. This is for macerating something. That's like if you have a piece of tough shoe leather, you do that. This you want to do as a side. You also can use the palm of your hand. You can also use the bottom of a small saute pan. I just like this because this is, I can see what there is. Also, a small little rubber mallet works great. But what you want to do again, you're not getting out any anxiety. You just want to gently pound them evenly so you've got them sort of a nice consistent thickness and they are ready for cooking. And it really is this simple to do. And now they're all sort of nice, even thickness, easy to go. They all get cooked quickly, and we're looking at about 2-3 minute cook time max to do this. Seasoning, we always talk about important. A little bit of kosher salt. A little bit goes a long way. People say that seems like a lot of salt. We're using a little pinch. It's hardly anything. You get more on a bag of French fries or something. Then we use like a little Italian seasoning mix. We're going to do a simple chicken piccata. What it means is chicken with butter, white wine, lemon, and caper. So we have the chicken nicely seasoned. And then what we want to do is get a saute pan. And here we have one. We want to have it hot. I had this pre-hot before. We take a little bit of our oil blend. Just put a little bit in. You're not pan frying. So right away the pan was preheated, so I have some viscosity in there, so it's moving pretty quickly. And that's how I can tell that the pan is hot. I still want to get it hotter, but I don't want it filled with a lot of oil because we're going to make a pan sauce in there with it. We're going to put in some white wine, a little bit of lemon, some butter, some herbs. So I don't want it to be really greasy with oil. If, and I'll show you at the end, if you feel that there's a little too much oil, we can pour it a little bit out. So I want to wait until it gets nice and hot. It's moving around quickly. There is some excess oil. I can show you. I'll just pour it out right here because I only just want enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Then we don't need to season the chicken on both sides because it's thin. You don't want to over season it, so just season on one side is fine. And then you like to sear the seasoned side down because you'll actually add to the little color in the presentation of the chicken. So you put it right there, hearing some noise. That's what we want. Make sure it's cranked up, and we're going to get them cooking right there. So it'll be about a minute, minute and a half on one side. This is something else. You don't want to play around with the pan. You don't want to move it. You want it to sit there. You want to get a nice heat so you get a nice sear. It's what's called the Maillard reaction. When you're turning some amino acids, they're sort of turning a nice brown and richness. You bring out a certain flavor. The term caramelization is used. Sometimes that is incorrect. Caramelization means the cooking of sugar. We are not caramelizing our meats. So again, the French guy came up with this Maillard reaction as an explanation of that. When we say piccata, it means capers. Capers are wonderful little sort of pickled buds. These are the actual little flower bud of a nasturtium flower. They're grown out onto the islands. I believe it's part of the Canary Islands or something off of Spain. Very, very popular. They're great. My dad used to enjoy them in martinis, but they have a nice little pungent flavor to it. I'm keeping a little bit of the brine in there because I like a little bit of that flavor in there with them as well. Use a little bit of lemon juice. Then we have some butter. We always use unsalted butter because we want to adjust the salt ourselves. And then some fresh parsley. This thing can go so many different ways. One day you can put in some dried tomatoes and fresh basil, pine nuts, almost like sort of like a little pesto type sauce. You take mushrooms, put in a little marsala sauce, a little parsley, nut, and butter, and you make almost a little chicken marsala. So this is what's fun. It's just learning the technique, the fundamentals, and then from there you can go on and on with different variations. That's what the classic chef Escoffier did when he put together all the different recipes. You look on the veal, He's got the same cooking method, but there's 20 different entries of the 20 different flavor combinations of sauces you do for it. If you've eaten here with me, I'm a big sauce guy. I like sauce. It adds so much to the dish itself, and it really brings up some nice flavor. So here we go. We got the chicken breast here. We're going to be able to turn these guys over right now. And this is what I was talking about. We've got a nice sear to them, a nice color, a nice brown. The pan is really nice and dry, but it's not bone dry, because that's where you can burn something. I'm going to give the chicken another minute. Then, one of the things about cooking, especially if we're doing fish, and we'll do this another coming up soon, is that with the fish, if it's thicker, I will turn it over, add a little wine to it or stock, and finish it in the oven. This chicken is almost done because it's that thin, and the key is we want to keep the chicken moist. So what we're going to do is deglaze right away with a little bit of white wine. Now we want to be careful. I'm cooking over open flame, and so if we did it directly over the top, we might get a little flambe or something. So I just want to really get the alcohol evaporated out. Also, the steaming method is going to help cook the chicken that much faster. We put in our capers, let those cook down some. Then we're going to get ready with this shot of lemon juice, very little bit. When you work with acids like lemons, vinegars and stuff, they can be very pungent. It's very difficult to take that sort of acidic flavor out of the dish. So you always want to be careful and go a little light. You can always add some a little bit later. Then, literally, you do push on your protein. You kind of feel when it's firm. These guys are firming up. This one is just a little soft right there, a little spongy. I'll give that another second. But what I'll do is take these guys, and it really is only a 3-4 minute cook time. Put them right on a little plate here. Give that another moment. And then we're going to put in a little bit of butter. And again, this butter is unsalted. You put in one piece. Gotta have butter. Okay, we need butter. A little bit of salt right there. We're going to put in our fresh parsley. That's the hardest part right here in cooking, is what we call mise en place, getting this ready. You have your chicken breast, you have pounded out, you have everything else here in place. You can do this in 3-4 minutes. Here in my kitchen, it's a lot easier for me to get all this together, but this is what we do, is just have things in place ready to work with. Then, here, we're just letting the butter melt. We don't want to get it burnt. Sometimes there are some dishes where you can do like a brunoise, brunoise, where you just lightly brown the butter, and that gives a nice little nuttiness to it. If you wanted to, you can add just a little shot of cream into here, make it that much richer. But then you just get your little pan sauce, you come right over the top, and you got a wonderful little chicken dish with lemon, capers, wine, herbs. This would be great over some pasta, a little bit of asparagus, roasted asparagus with this would also go very nicely. So, you can do this too. I know, a little goofy there, but anyway, enjoy this. I am having fun with this, and we want you to do the same thing. So thank you all very much. You be well.